Alrighty, PG-13, and it is G.I.Joe 1988, and we are going to be looking at Mean Dog and the driver Wildcard, and then we're going to look at the Desert Fox that is right behind Skidmark, and the Swampmasher. So let's get into it. Now, if anybody follows the Van Damme movies, you know, like Ultimate Soldier, well, there was a Van Damme figure made. And you know, this reminds me of, is it Universal Soldier, I think it was? But that reminds me of it. You know, with the little grids. You know, that looks pretty friggin' awesome. Now, if they made a semi like this, with this stuff, and what was that, that zombie movie there? Anyways, there's a zombie movie where they have that, was it Reckoning or whatever? That was a cool vehicle, you know, if they made something like that for G.I. Joe. Yeah, it was called Dead Reckoning, you know. Oh, I just forget the name of that zombie movie off the top of my head right now, but as you see, I never prepare, and everything is just how it is. It comes to me. There's no notes underneath here. Anyway, see, both hands. Now, Mean Dog, this little thing comes out, and it's supposed to stand. Now, this is supposed to stand. So I guess it kind of stands, but I don't know. Doesn't look like this cannon does. Maybe you have to clip the clips, or I don't know if it locks into place. So we'll move the clips around and see. It looks like there is a little device here that it clicks into. So I guess, yeah, it kind of does work. So here's the gimmick. This comes off, and you can add it to one of your little bases. And it does have a gun barrel that actually moves. So it's kind of neat. But there's a little setting here. It's supposed to click into this thing somehow. Looks like it anyways. So we can always try the other part. One more time. Well, I guess it doesn't. Anyways, so this vehicle does transform. It disattaches or detaches. We're doing the, oh, anyways, we'll go back to you in a bit. So it does come apart, and we're just gonna put this right back in here. But first we're going to open up the front before we take it. Look at this nice size. Oh, hold on. I'm going to have to just lower the camera here a bit. This opens up, and it just has one tab, so this does fit the figures in there pretty easily. And it's nice, you know, lots of room. And it looks like it holds 3. So you have obviously 2 in the seat, and it almost looks like another seat, but that's for the gunner position. And this does rotate, probably goes 360, and this is actually not a bad turret. And the sticker needs to be glued back. Over time, I guess it peels. This cannon does not move up and down, so don't force it. And it does have 6 wheels and only 10 missiles, so 5 on each side. This, you just slide this here open, and then this wheel pops up, and it doesn't take much to just pull out, but you want to just push it underneath with your fingers. That way you're not really stressing anything. And then we'll take this apart and have a better look. See that? That's a cool design. And it even, oh, you might even be able to pull this part apart. And it is kind of neat. It is very neat. Oh yes, Wildcard does have cool knife at the back. Look at that. Almost like a little machete. That's not a knife. This is a knife. And Wildcard does have a helmet that comes off, but we're looking at his vehicle right now. So this can separate and detach. And we'll look at the other part of this vehicle. Now I guess the vehicle driver would be sitting in here. So we're gonna throw a skid mark in there. And I think if you look at it, yeah, it's a pretty deep seat, so you can angle his feet. You can angle his feet, and there you go. Well, you have to push this back in order to make it work. And now another tip, these vehicles are made pretty crappy from the wheels. The wheels can break off. You know, the Hasbro cheaped out and they made crappy clips. But if that ever happens to you, the type of plastic that's in the Cobra Fang is highly fusible, so you can fuse it onto your back wheel. Like, you have to melt it a little bit and then you can shape it and you can put it back on. So your wheel will be saved. Or you could probably just throw a screw in there and paint it. So, you know, like when I did buy this, it wasn't broken, but then obviously stuff happens. So you have to know, and knowing is half the battle. Then there is a tow hook on here and 2 more foot pegs. And it's not a bad vehicle, but again, it would have been cooler if this cannon mount was actually mounted in. And the missiles come out pretty simple. You know, slides out. Missiles do turn up and down, and you can even shoot what's behind you. So, it's a pretty cool vehicle. Just pop that in, give it a little push, slide that up. There you go. Wild card. But I wish that gun cannon was in there better, because this turret might just bounce out and fall out. Next we have this awesome vehicle, the Desert Fox. This is an American version. Alright, now the Desert Fox came with skid mark, and well, we're doing the infamous what is it, Kevin's channel there, VX or VX, I forget. We haven't heard from Kevin. Don't know if something bad happened to him or not, or if he just got fed up because of YouTube was ruining his nice videos. But Kevin, come back. Everybody misses you in the G.I.Joe community. So we have a skid mark in this cool Desert Fox. The Desert Fox does hold 4 figures, but you can probably cram in 2 more and give it 6. Now, a common bad part about this vehicle is the axle inside does break, but you can pre-drill some holes, and then you can even like screw in a piece of plastic, and then you can fix your axle, because these do break quite frequently. So again, that's Hasbro's another way of cheaping out. Skid mark fits in here pretty easily, and it does have some cool room. Now, one better design of this would be if this was black. You know, the black would have looked way nicer. Would have had a better contrast to this desert vehicle. And I think it was 6-wheel drive that they had on there. And it does have 2 missiles that detach, and you have to be careful because, you know, these tabs do break off. But the bell-shaped pattern is probably the best pattern that they can have. And this does have a flimsy tow hook and another one of these crappy antennas. Like I said, if they made it kind of rubbery and flexible, that would make more sense. And the sticker might have just slid off. I do have 2 of these, so I have another one for parts. And it does have a steering wheel, and it's got some cool detail in here. Let's take a quick look. There's a little computer for the missile navigation system, and I do have some custom painted helmets, and that is my custom painted. Well, I made another figure out of Spirit. That's one of his cousins. Windtalker. Oh, I actually met that guy. He's pretty nice. Adam Beach. He's a pretty nice guy. I knew his brother Dave Beach. So this is an awesome vehicle. It does roll pretty smoothly, and I love playing with this. I did have one of these as a kid, and this cannon here does turn, rotates, and you can even pull it out too if you want to fit more figures in there. Commonly lost part might be this or the antenna. The antenna might break off, like most G.I.Joe vehicles. But we have a special surprise, the Swampmasher. We brought back Jinx. And here's Van Damme. I told you there's Van Damme figure. Look at that. I'm going to probably take his head off, or see if I can find another one. And maybe I can make a Universal Soldier. Here, we have the Swampmasher. This vehicle sucks because they did not allocate room for the actual figure. They didn't consider the figure. I mean, Jinx fits in there because she's got thinner legs. So this, you could actually just cut this, raise it, and make it into a custom, and then you can fit any figure in there after that. But they didn't make it right. This has 2 missiles. They do fire off. Manually powered, of course. And those missiles might get lost. And this is cool, like 6 wheels on each side. So when you're going over stuff, it actually does work. It does have a cannon that rotates. And it's purple. Purple's not a bad color, but again, all black would have been nicer. And this is just one of the smaller vehicles. That's very common, easy to find. It's got some cool exhaust here. So, again, it does hold 2 more figures on the back, and it's got a tow hook and a little engine, and the cannon does rotate all the way around. So, one of the figures you can fit in here is Jinx. Just don't ram her in there, just let her slide in. You see how tight that is because of the seat? So she does fit in. And now it's unjinxed. Now it works. But other figures do not fit in. So again, the situation, Russia's got subs in the Arctic. And again, if you're arming your nukes, you kind of want to be ready for that. So again, United States and Canada and everyone else in the world, get those hypersonic missiles out faster. And you gotta have all those ready, because you want to be able to shoot down Russia's missiles with your laser weapons, as well as from space. Get them right from the rear. Anyways, oh yes, and my tooth I did have taken out. We thought I'd show you a visual. So this did get ripped right out. It looks like a vampire tooth when you put it like that. So, I should be feeling better. And we'll have more videos to come. Thanks for watching.